Hello, everybody, and welcome to American Gods, first episode here tonight. I should mention that as we begin the game, they are not aware that they are potentially gods yet. They certainly have lived lives where weird things have happened, but as far as they are concerned, they're just normal people, like the rest of us. In a little note scribbled by Mr. Ibis, we can read Loki and the Allfather may not have succeeded in their plan to sacrifice the other gods for their own gain. Their actions have changed the world and have caused ripples that shook the world to its very mythological core. Everywhere, ancient things begin to stir. Some are shadows, faint echoes of their former selves who have forgotten their own godly nature. Others, like Mr. Jaqulin and myself, are relics, not forgotten but barely remembered, getting by as we can. Then there are the legends, those who remember and are remembered, who have enough power left to crave more, to plot and scheme and dream of the day where they reign supreme once more. Finally, there are those dubbed the new gods, replete with the power of vast numbers of believers, but having no clear idea what to do with it except squander it on frivolities, imagining it will last forever and weather the capricious nature of a rapidly changing world. Among all of these are those just looking to make it through the day, maintain an ounce of dignity and self-respect. But there are those like Loki and the Allfather who harbor darker designs, who imagine a world where once again blood is shed in their name, where honor and glory are heaped upon their names, where fear and devotion drive the masses to their knees. We have, more by chance than design, avoided one world-ending war. We may not be so lucky twice. If we are gods, and we can't save ourselves, who will save us? You have been for a while now, each for your own reasons, attending a grief management therapy group online. You've been doing this perhaps for a few months, attending meetings here and there. You all have found maybe something to help you or not at all. It really depends on who you are and while you were attending. But the one thing that you did find is companionship, friendships, perhaps. There are other people here suffering also, feeling some of the same things you are. Or maybe they're just, maybe you're just really not feeling it and not feeling a part of it, whatever the situation is. You are now headed to Arizona, to the Night Queen Motor Lodge Resort, where you are to spend the good part of a week attending seminars, meeting with other people in the group, so on and so forth, to try and work through your grief and your situation. Some of you are perhaps doing this more willingly than others, but for whatever reason you are doing it, you are arriving now at this place. You find yourselves approaching the Night Queen Motor Lodge Resort. It is tucked away in a discreet, sun-drenched nook of a sweeping mesa. You're immediately welcomed by the allure of its Babylonian-inspired architecture. The intricate details and exotic motifs whisper a world of luxury and mystique. It is a sprawling resort with not one, but two inviting pools beckoning you to take a dip and soak up the sun, each with beautiful fountains at the center spewing fresh, clear water up in the sky. The crystal clear waters reflect the grandeur of the Babylonian-themed surroundings, creating an oasis of relaxation and rejuvenation. As you see the lush garden, you discover a serene escape adorned with vibrant blooms, fragrant blossoms. Carefully manicured landscape serves as a tranquil black backdrop, inviting you to unwind amidst this nature's beauty set against the stark, cruel beauty of the Arizona desert. The heart of the Night Queen experience lies in the main central hall, a magnificent space that exudes opulence and warmth. The Babylonian design is brought to life through ornate details, rich colors, tapestries, timeless art that tells stories of ancient civilizations, statues of winged creatures, cuneiform alphabets around the columns and along the edges, tables and desks. my friends, as you step foot into this strange little place, let us say that the first to arrive, pulling up in, I believe, a large SUV of some kind, Darius and Damien, is that the deal?
Oh yeah. The larger, the more safe it is. So you never know when someone might try to ram you off the road. That extra weight could be the difference between life and death.
So the two of you pull up and you pass, first of all, a set of arches. Again, there's this Babylonian design, so there are these winged creatures on either side, and you drive through. You see a large pool at the center. There are a couple of strange towers, sort of like almost temple like structures at the center. Over yonder, you see the area where the guest rooms are. There are pools, what looks like a gym, a spa, things of that nature. Over on the left, you see equestrian grounds. There's a stable, a few horses are out. You drive up a graveled pathway and arrive at the top where the main edifice of the place stands amidst, encircled by four smaller convention centers that all seem to be pretty packed right now. There seems to be quite a number of people sort of all over the place. You pull up in your car, a valet comes out around to the side of the door. Welcome to the Night Queen Motor Lodge, sir. And he gives you a ticket for the vehicle.
Take it.
Someone comes
Thanks.
in, comes up to the back. I'm guessing they can't open the doors.
I opened the doors for him.
Start unpacking, unloading your stuff.
My first question to the valet is: so, where exactly will the vehicle be taken? Just in case,
in case you need to make an immediate exit, yes. You see over there, you see the equestrian center. Just over to the right of it, there's that little path, and it's just on the other side of the little hill there. It's like 30-second, a minute walk maximum.
All right, good.
You can also, if you are planning on coming down, you can call from the room first. And if you give us a couple of minutes, we'll have your vehicle ready when you pull up.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. I give him a tip.
Thank you very much, sir. Please do step by the main desk to check in and have a pleasant stay. And he gets into your vehicle, and you can see he's kind of like, a little overtaken by how massive and just mean and military this vehicle looks. And the two of you are standing there on this gravel pathway with your bags being rolled into this building. There's faint little music playing, something faintly, Middle Easternish sounding, but probably very kind of Kenny G-ish also at the same time, which is kind of odd. But there you are, the two of you. What would you like to do? Oh, also, actually, first, how about you tell us a little bit about your characters? What do people see as you step up to the front doors?
JD, would you like to do the honors first?
Sure, I can jump in first. So as Damien steps up to the door, he doesn't actually step up to the door because he is looking off at the equestrian center. He is a 21-year-old who normally he is that college student that shows up to his 8 a.m. class in an ironed button-down shirt and slacks. He is currently in an oversized sweatshirt that says Virginia is for lovers, that he probably got at the airport as he was leaving, and jeans, which he never wears. He is always supposed to be dressed to the nines, and that is not the case today. He is dressed for travel, and this is his first time traveling on his own, and he has been so grateful for running into Darius and not having to make this final leg of the journey on his own. He's got messy black hair, golden eyes, and he is looking kind of longingly at the equestrian center, like he wants to take a step towards that, but isn't sure if he should or not.
And standing right next to you, kind of clocking that you're not looking at the entrance, but also just kind of scanning his general surroundings. Darius stands about 6'3", is pretty much a bruiser of a dude, like he's about 230, but looks very active as well. He's currently wearing a athletic fit black hoodie, not unlike the one I'm wearing in real life right now. It's almost like I chose this on purpose. He gives off a disposition of, I could be wearing a suit or I could be wearing just lounging clothes. I'm at home in either, but I'm doing this because I was told to, so I'm going to be comfortable as well. And he almost never stops scanning the general vicinity. It's almost automatic. It's almost like he doesn't even realize he's like scanning everyone and everything that's around him. But he's always just got like a very slight warmness about him, but also with that, hey, don't fuck with me vibe that just comes from super nice people that could probably hurt you, which he could.
Quite the pair. Would you like to give me, in fact, a wits plus vigilance roll as you scan the area there? So the way the system works is that you have a number for your stat, in this case a d10, and a d10 for your vigilance. So you would roll 2 d10s, and you're looking for at least 1 6.
2 d10s?
Yeah.
As soon as I remember what dice are. All right, there they are.
They're those things that you're not supposed to put in your mouth that you always put in your mouth.
That's a total of 6.
No, you don't add them. You're looking for an actual 6 or higher on at least one of them.
Well, never mind. I don't do well. I'm just looking because I just do it automatically. I'm not actually looking at anything.
One of the particularities of this system is that you can push your rolls. If you are not satisfied with the result of your roll, you can decide to push your roll. However, pushing your roll means that you also take a condition. So you have to knock off either exhausted, battered, broken, or hopeless, which later on causes you problems. But I don't know if you want to do that here or if you're going to be satisfied with.
Nah, not yet.
Okay. So you look around, clock, trying to see if there's anything. See security's adequate or security cameras. There are magnetic locks on the doors. There's no. You can see inside a desk with like a security guard, but there's no actual security presence that you can detect per se. The one thing that you do notice is as you were clocking down where the parking lot was, you saw at least 3 other SUVs that would be pretty much in league with the one that you were driving with all the antennas on top of it and everything else. So there seems to be some sort of security contingent of some sort here, but it doesn't seem to be like local to the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
As you walk into the hall of the hotel, how is Kimberly arriving? Because I'm pretty damn sure DeeDee's going to be dead last arriving. Rolling out of an Uber, little bottles of whiskey rolling out of.
Yeah, I'm making the assumption that Kimberly took the very early flight and DeeDee did not. And so she does Kimberly does show up in an Uber. And doesn't even quite realize she's there yet. She's on her laptop, just kind of like hotspotting in to do work because she doesn't know how to not do that. And is kind of a little bit kind of like putting stuff in her bag as she's trying to get out, and kind of the wonder of the area hits her as the Uber driver is like trying to get her away and like give her pat her bags. You see a mid 50s woman. She's mid height, 5'5", 5'6". She's got just professional from head to toe. Very nice makeup. Her hair is blow dried into kind of a nice bob. It looks like she really took care of herself this morning. She's got a nice like pressed pantsuit that she's wearing with a nice blouse underneath, and a nice pair of shoes. And she is kind of like apologizing profusely to the Uber driver as she's like trying to get her. She's got like papers and things that she's trying to get into her bag as she's stepping out of the
Now, were you planning on arriving at the same time and I just messed that up, or?
Nah, you're good.
No,
Okay.
I feel like that fits.
All right.
DeeDee being dead last. Yeah. Kimberly probably tried really hard, like, oh, we should really, it would save a lot of time and energy if we went together. But I have to take the 6:30 a.m. flight because blah blah blah. And DeeDee probably was like, no.
I'm still gonna be in bed at 6. As you approach the place, would you give me a empathy and occult roll?
Sure.
JD, I didn't ask you to make a roll because there's a reason for that.
That's fine. I trust you, Bleak.
That's a 12.
Awesome, you got a 12 on your empathy. That's nice.
Yeah.
As soon as you step out, and you're kind of this, as you were saying, you're focused on your work and all that. You step out, and just before you close your work, there's kind of a weird glitch, as if like suddenly the Wi-Fi wasn't coming in correctly or something, and your computer kind of glitches and goes weird, and you're like panicking about maybe losing work or something. But it comes back sort of exactly the way it was before, and everything seems fine. So you finish it off, you close it off, you take care of your Uber, you step out, someone comes out to get your bags and everything, and they're rolling that in. And as you finally kind of step up and look at the place, you get a sudden really, really strange sense. You hear from kind of somewhere off 3 voices, and they seem to kind of be singing in unison the same song, but the 3 voices are different. There's one that seems maybe kind of younger, one a little bit more mellow, one a little bit older perhaps, but they seem very kind of similar. And it's strange because you can clearly hear the music that's playing and it's not that, and you kind of look around and you realize as you're looking around that all other sound has started to kind of dim, and there's just kind of like a little kind of background noise, and you're hearing this sing-song voice, and then shortly after, this lasts like maybe 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and then the sound comes back around you, and someone's asking you, "Are these all your bags, ma'am?" And you feel just like you were somewhere else for a second, like like you, almost as if you were walking and stepping through like a water fountain, step on the other side and being dry again, where you went through something almost, and it was different there for a second, but now that you've taken the extra step, you're kind of back to sort of where you were, and it's just kind of like almost kind of like that feeling when you get a deja vu or something, kind of like, okay, that's weird, but are these all your bags, ma'am?
Oh, yeah. Let me just count and just make sure. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that looks like it's right. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Would you like me to take the laptop bag also?
I'm gonna keep this just in case I get like a little free time. I can pop it open. I'll hold on to this. Thank you.
Perfect, no problem. Please follow me, and he'll drive
Sure.
and guide you inside. When does DeeDee get there?
I think the assumption of as late as possible. I think there was a lot of promise to self of I'm going to get this ticket early, and then didn't, and then thought about it and then didn't, and then there were 2 tickets left and didn't, and then pretty much took the last option possible as I was hemming and hawing about whether or not I was going to actually come to this thing or not. So it's probably a really weird time in the evening. By the time that I'm getting there, or at least whatever that time frame we're looking at, right?
Okay. So, and you're getting there with an Uber from the airport, I guess?
Uber, taxi, something, whatever was closest, honestly.
No problem. You must have fallen asleep during the ride, because as you pull into the resort grounds, it's still kind of broad daylight, which is strange because daylight was pretty much fading away when you got in this cab, and the cab sort of pulls up, and the man who's driving it, when he turns around and looks at you, doesn't look like the guy that was driving your taxi earlier. Like, it's just really, really kind of weird. you're not sure if you're imagining this, if you imagined it before. You're just feeling very disconnected all of a sudden from sort of yourself and sort of everything around you. But the guy's like, "We're here, ma'am. I'll help you with your bags." And he gets out of the car, and somebody else comes by and opens the side door. "Welcome to the Night Queen Motor Lodge and Resort."
Thanks, darling. And as I like step out, it's a lot of leg, tall woman. On first glance, looks put together. Has like kind of khaki flares, slacks, and nice heels, tall heels, and a silk crimson blouse. Hair is cut short. It's wavy. Clearly does the curly girl method. Spends a lot of time on it. Bangs that look new. And closer examination would be the blouse is definitely wrinkly. The shoes are black, but the belt is brown, and the makeup looks like it's been applied 2 or 3 different times. Like it's just layered on from the week. I still like first glance looks good. A little closer, it's just a little on the rough side. And my bags are a hodgepodge. There's like a backpack, there's a purse, there's 2 different sets of suitcases that do not match whatsoever. Was very much a throw everything together. I think I might need this. Who knows? Kind of situation.
And the only thing I could think of was her legs start at her bangs and go all the way to the ground.
Pretty much.
So you step out, and everyone's, you're used to it. Everyone's kind of like, side-eyeing you a little bit. The guys are all kind of checking out whatever, kind of around, and they're being extra polite with you, and they're getting your bags and everything. And as you kind of get out of the car and sort of set yourself up and trying to wrap your head around all the weirdness, you hear someone say, "Man, would you like me to take the laptop bag also?" And then you hear Kimberly's voice saying, "No, I think I'll hang on to it in case I want to do a little bit of work."
Miss Gordon.
Oh, DeeDee. Did you take the earlier flight? Did you take my advice?
Yes, I absolutely did.
Oh, that's such good news. I'm so proud.
It took a lot of effort, but we got here.
Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent, sweetie. Yeah, this is so beautiful. Look at this place. Just...
Oh, I remember looking at the brochure. I don't remember it looking quite like this. Buried a little bit, didn't they?
They've got to tone it down. They can't, because it's got to be, it's the whole experience. Can't really put that on paper. So,
hear me out. It seems awfully loud for grieving folks. It seems more spring break Cancun.
Maybe that's just when everyone arrives. Maybe it'll cool down. Maybe there's just a lot of, getting people to their room and things.
General excitement, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so very glad that you convinced me to show.
It's great.
Your phone beeps, DeeDee.
We pull it out immediately, like reflexively checking to see who it could possibly be.
It's a text from Molly, and you realize you've missed about 7 of them.
Are they urgent?
Well, it just says Molly.
Oh, just Molly.
Yeah.
Cool. One moment, Miss Gordon, and go ahead and start flipping through to see what the updates are.
First one, or start with the last one?
Ooh. Yeah, we'll go bottom up.
Clarify that for me.
So whatever the most recent one is, sense.
Okay.
And then scroll up.
I'm on my way.
We're gonna need more context.
So you start scrolling back. Turns out Molly's been fired, and she is very much beside herself. She says that and her messages are kind of scatterbrained and all over the place. At first, she's like, I got fired. She's the first one's like, I think everyone's getting fired. And then the second one was like, no, it's just me. And then the third one was like, I have no clue what's going on. They want to talk to me. The fourth one is they got men in suits here and they want me to sign some. And it goes on like that. And it's like, they're accusing me of spying. I told her. And so there's this whole thing that goes on. And then finally it's like, can you answer your phone, please? I need you to talk to these people right now I need you to tell them that I'm not, spying on them for you. I need you. And then finally, where are you? And then they get really and then finally it's like, all right, I found your itinerary. I'm coming.
Oh, no. How long of a gap? Like, if I try to call her right now, it's going to be like, I meant to reply. I just forgot kind of length of time.
No, the last one just came in, right? But the first one came in around the time you would have been on the flight as you remember it. So there's been maybe like, you lost a bit of time there for some other reasons. There's about maybe 7 hours that have gone by, but in the daytime thing, it's only like a few hours.
I'll try to give her a call.
All right, the phone rings.
Mm-hmm.
Goes to voicemail. Hi, this is Molly.
Click.
No.
We're not leaving voicemails. Send a text or send a message back to her. See you soon, with a party emoji, a sparkly heart emoji.
Oh my God. You're killing me. Oh no, you've all switched around places. I don't know why you're playing. Someone close their cameras. It's okay.
I bumped my desk and my camera shut off.
It's okay. I'll fix it in a second. So you send that off, and it's fantastic. I'm going to give you an advantage for later because that was such a specific, awesome detail for the character. I love it. So take an advantage for later. You step into the hall. As a lot of you are stepping into the hall. I'm just going to fix these cameras here quickly. Who's swapped out here? Let me see who's swapped out. Jaqulin and everyone's swapped out. Okay. It's going to be a bit of a mess. All right. As you walk into the hall, JD and Darryl, the entrance hall is huge, cavernous. There are big staircases. Everything is done in this kind of Babylonian motif with these weird sort of hieroglyphs on the walls, things like that. The chairs are all like this deep, rich mahogany wood. The tables are the Sanders braziers with like flames. It's almost like you stepped back in time into a Sumerian palace or a Babylonian palace or something like that. People are dressed normally. Like the people who work here are all dressed very kind of soberly in like a sort of gray dress pants with a maroon of a vest over a gray shirt. But the place itself, I don't know if you've ever been to like the Luxor in Las Vegas, but it's kind of like walking to the Luxor in Vegas if the Luxor was in Reno, but they still had a budget. Like, so I don't know if that connects with anyone, but so you walk in there, there's all sorts of people here. All over the place, people sitting around talking. There's maybe like, 40, 50 people kicking around here. There's really like the place is packed right now. Behind the desk, you see this fellow who's wearing a tracksuit. And as you look closer, you're like, is that? Yeah, that's an iguana on his shoulder. He's behind the desk. There's a couple people in front of line for you, and I'm going to put a picture of this fella in a second in the chat so you can admire him. But
I lean over. I was like, I lean over to Damien immediately, and I just go, "Is that a fucking iguana on his shoulder?"
And I think at the exact same moment, Damien is leaning over to you and going, "Is that an iguana?"
Arizona's weird, man.
I mean, they say like when in Rome, right?
Yeah, we're in the desert though.
Which I mean is where iguanas are, right?
Being from Arizona, I should totally know that answer, but I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure there are iguanas
Yeah,
in
they're
Arizona.
There.
I've put a picture of this fellow in the Discord chat for y'all. As you approach the desk, he signs up the people in front of you, and then the two of you approach. Hi. Welcome to Night Queen Motor Lodge. My name's Bill. How can I help you? You chicken in.
Yeah, we'll check it. We're with the and I lean in.
The accountants. You don't look like accountants.
We're with the grief group.
Oh, you're bereaved. I'm very sorry. I extend my most heartfelt sympathies to you.
It's appreciated.
Let's get you sorted out here. And the iguana kind of moves over and is standing on his head now. Let's get you sorted out here.
What do you think an accountant looks like?
I think maybe like those ones over there. And you look over and there's a couple of very, very serious-faced men and women, all dressed in very sober, gray, dark gray, black suits and very professional attire. And they're all kind of standing around with teacups. And they're all standing around like in a circle, like they're talking, but no one's talking. And they're just kind of staring at each other. And I think they're accountants. I'm not sure. I don't think they're the ranchers.
No, I don't think they're the ranchers, but they do kind of look like they're at a funeral, coming from a funeral.
I've never seen a group of people just standing around, not talking and staring at each other.
You see it sometimes. People, they don't like to share too much. They just want to make small talk. They want to talk about the weather. They want to talk about whatever little thing, but they don't want to say the real things. People, they don't want to reach out and know the real feelings of the other people. They really, they're very standoffish. I find most people is like that. Yes?
Especially accountants.
Well, maybe especially accountants, but there is also a undertaker convention, so maybe those are the undertakers. It's hard to tell difference between undertakers and accountants.
How many conventions? How many groups do you just have going? I mean, it's a large place. You probably have multiple groups.
We have a lot. We're packed. We're packed this weekend. There's so many people, so many conventions. And he shuffles through some papers and he's like, "Oh, here, I have the paper." And he pulls out a paper and he's like, "Give my glasses." And the iguana kind of slims down and then comes back with a pair of reading glasses. Thanks. Oh, don't mind him. He puts on his glasses. We've got the Embalming and Funeral Directors Association of America is here. Preserving the Dearly Departed, a guest speaker to be announced. There's these are nice. These are fine. These the Digital Adult Workers Union, sex at your fingertip, bringing the oldest profession into the modern age. There are a bunch of people from that over here. The Accountant and Clerical Fraternity of Maine, making numbers count. We have the Ranchers Collective of New Hampshire is here. Horse around and find out modern solutions to the harsh realities of ranching in New England. They're here. They're around. They got horses. Something called Blackstone Operations. It doesn't say anything else. It just says Blackstone Operations. I don't know. I wasn't here this morning. And 7 Doors Grief Management Therapy Seminar. This is you guys.
I don't know if Damien catches it. At Blackstone Operations, you do see a facial twitch go across Darius's face as he tries to quickly get it back together.
A lot of people, but we've got room. He's good. No worries. He's good. We've got room for everybody. Can I get your names, please? Just sign up over here. Madam, please come up. I help you. And he's signaling to to Kimberly and DeeDee to sort of step up. Just fill these out, gentlemen, please. And you see he's got like these little nubs of pencils, and he's got these little old pieces of paper, like, and you kind of look quickly, and there's like one of those old credit card kind of thing behind. There's not a computer in the place. Hi, I'm Bill. I help you today. Is good.
Yeah.
You're an accountant, right?
Technically, yes, but not right now. I took some courses in high school and then into college, and yeah, I haven't really been keeping up. I can do my taxes. Does that make me an accountant?
Don't talk to me about taxes.
Yeah.
Taxes,
No.
taxes. That's all this country knows is taxes. Everything you do is tax. You tax, they tax you. It's tax on everything. It's driving me nuts.
Yeah. And they won't even do it for you. They make you do it.
That's right. You think they have all the
crazy.
information, right? Do you think they
I
could just print
know.
it out?
Yeah.
Like your name, your social identification number, and I'm just print it out for you. But no, you've got to do it. He's no good. It's no good.
I know. The world.
But what did you say your name was? So you're not an accountant, I take it.
I know. No, we're here for the grief group.
All bereaved people, my most sincere sympathies for your loss.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
we will try to make your stay very comfortable here. Please, if you would just fill out your name and this stuff here, and the iguana kind of comes down and brings you a pencil.
Oh, look at you! Aren't you the cutest?
Yes, his name is Samagul.
Oh, what a unique name!
It's mean the destroyer of worlds.
Oh, does he? They just the.
He's like, I don't know. I never asked. He picks up the iguana and he kind of looks under. He's like, hard to tell. I don't know. Ask him. Maybe you got a preference. I always call him me, but what do I know? I just work here at the desk. I'm just
Well,
Bill,
politically correct and all that. Hi. Do you have pronouns? And she's talking to the iguana.
The iguana's just licking its lips and looking at you.
Hey, Bleak.
Yeah.
Hey, Bleak.
What's up? Gotcha.
Maybe.
And
could I maybe talk to animals?
yeah, you can totally talk to animals. The iguana sort of is looking at Kimberly, and then it looks at you and goes, "What the fuck is her problem? Like, I don't put up with enough shit here. I gotta put up with this fucking bullshit? The fuck? Just take the fucking pencil, lady. Christ."
Well, aren't you the cutest little thing? Oh, so precious.
Damien is just staring at this iguana with a look of shock on his face, and then just gently says to Kimberly, I think they might be getting tired. You might want to take the pencil from them.
Oh, it is late. That's fair. That's fair. I don't want to overdo
They're also an
it.
iguana, and they're holding a pencil.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, how often do you see that? Fucking just be amazing. Take the pencil. Christ.
And she'll grab the pencil very delicately and like tap it on its head. Oh, so you're
not the
so
head tap.
good.
Not the head tap.
I don't think they like that.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Are you like an animal whisperer? I've heard that's all the craze these days.
Yeah, tell her I'm gonna kill her in her sleep.
I would like to. I am not. I am not. That's very kind of you. Please don't.
All right, all yours, buddy. And he goes back up.
Oh, maybe you had an iguana at one point? Can you like read their body language?
Something like that.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that's so excellent. Hi, my name is Kimberly Gordon.
Hi, I'm Damien Doyle. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh,
You wouldn't know
excellent.
each other actually from the. You would have
Oh,
been in the
true.
same.
True. Yeah.
Grief management.
It's nice to meet you in person.
It's wonderful to be here. This is really an amazing place.
Yeah, that's what I was telling DeeDee as we were walking in.
Especially the iguanas. Speaking of DeeDee, Bill has moved on to DeeDee. Hi, are you bereaved also?
Sure, why not?
My most sincere, heartfelt sympathies.
Thanks. What do I need to sign?
Just right here. Let me get you a piece of paper, pen. Where's the pen?
I am like half paying attention. Pretty much this entire time, I've been teenage daughter on my phone, going through various news cycles and social medias, and really just half an ear out to whatever's been happening.
And as the iguana's trying to hand DeeDee a pencil, JD, you hear the iguana go, "Another fucking winner."
And I think Damien laughs a bit at that.
Well, they're not here for the Brain Trust convention, that's for sure. Take the pencil, lady.
Take it and like passing glance, sign where I think I need to sign, and you see the full name go on the paper of Bernadette, and a nice like large signature.
He collects all your papers, everything. He hands everybody keys. To go to the guest rooms, you go out the door here. Just down the path there. I'm switching into Christopher Walken there. Down the path to the left, you'll see the houses for you. If you want, you can inhabit them physically. All right. So. So it's just down the path there. Just you can't miss the second building. Don't go in the first one. It's the mortuary. You go the second one. Here are the keys. If you need anything, you call front desk. Ask for Bill. Take care of you.
Before I go, God, I started turning to Chris Walken just now too.
Before I go, somewhere else.
I do have a question for you. I work in security, and so I want to abide by your rules. Is there a policy for maintaining a firearm on the premises?
Yes.
What is that rule?
No. We don't like the firearms. They're not good. They make people nervous. It's a safe place. It's a safe place. You have firearm on you? You have firearm?
Right. Look, I'll abide by your rule.
You put it in the safe here, and it's safe. It's good.
All right. And you would see he pulls out just a gigantic, like a 357 Magnum. He pulls it like from the weapon I chose was heavy revolver. So
that's a big gun.
So I'm a big man.
Yeah, fair point.
He just puts it in. He empties the bullets out, takes the bullets, and then puts the gun in.
Bill turns to anybody else strapping?
Absolutely not.
Oh no,
it's good.
No.
It's good. I have here a cocktail at 7 in the lounge room there for the bereaved people. You come by. They serve cocktails, finger food, canapes, the little things, little sandwich with no crust on the side there. And then you have a good stay, yes?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank
Absolutely.
you. We appreciate it.
Get lost.
Right. I like
you got shit
Bill.
to do. You're not very nice, You can talk nicer to people.
Oh, they talk to you?
I'm sorry, what?
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 You just seem to have open communication with your iguana.
Oh, when you've been together this long, I've been long with him longer than my wife. You get to understanding one another. My wife, I don't understand, but Samago, I understand. Samago is simple. Just won't destroy the world. It's very, very straightforward. Well, have a nice day. If you need anything, Bill, you call me front desk. is good, I fix it.
As we're walking away, I'm assuming I go, did that fucking guy say his lizard wanted to destroy the world?
I think he did.
Oh, I figured it was just a euphemism of some kind, a metaphor. It's probably not real.
What?
I don't know how. I hear animal whispering is like all the new thing. I mean, maybe trying out new vibes. Wait, you young people, you know the vibes, right?
Miss Golden, tell me more about the vibes.
Well, I hear the vibes. It's a thing you can acquire.
Sure.
My high school students say I have the vibe. You know, I've got vibes. I don't really understand the context, but
I think you did a mighty fine job explaining. Thank you.
oh, thank you. Oh, you're so sweet.
Good
Back
God,
on my phone.
It's so hard not to like this person. Darryl says this.
You are you walk out through the doors and find yourself in a little pathway, and there are nice little gardens around you and palm trees, and you are heading towards, basically there's like 3 or 4 buildings that are kind of similar, and this is where all the guests are right now. They're fairly empty, as everyone seems to be either in the convention centers or at some of the leisure spots, but you're all in the same building. As you are walking towards there, JD, you stop as you see coming towards you up that pathway. You're kind of young, JD, so I don't know if this reference is gonna land, but do you know the Marlboro Man?
Of
The
course, I do,
fucking
Blake.
Marlboro Man on horseback with chaps and fucking everything, and the hat, and is coming towards you.
Okay, but what does the horse look like?
Oh, the horse is just a, average chestnut mare.
Damien
folks?
stops and watches.
He comes by, perfect, like he just walked off the Marlboro ad. The red shirt, the blue jeans, the cowboy boots, the hat. He doesn't have weapons or anything, but he's got the saddlebag with the ropes, and he's just like, he comes by and he's got like, the day's growth of beard, and he looks dusty and like he's been baked in the sun, and he's like, evening, folks, as he walks by.
How you doing?
Evening.
All right, partner. You watch him go, and he comes up to one of the other housing units, and you see someone sort of come around. You don't really see them, and he's like, "Hey, boss," and then you hear a fairly young voice say, "Look, I'm being told that there's a wolf problem here. I'm really not sure we're going to want to keep the horses here." And then he says, "Look, boss, I just talked to the guys up front. They're having a wolf problem, but they got a specialist coming in. There's this guy. Apparently, he's one of the few people who's licensed by the government to hunt wolves, so he's coming in to check it out. I think it's probably going to be okay now. I would suggest maybe we, keep the horses inside the corral, maybe keep some of the guys out tonight and wait to see what this guy does about the wolves and see if there's really a problem before we make a decision of shipping all this back to New Hampshire." And the younger voice says, "Yeah, okay. We just, I don't want to lose any of them. We can't really afford to at this point." It's like, "Yeah, don't worry about it, boss. I'm on it. I'll take care of it." And he says, "All right." And then the horseman turns around and sort of continues on his way. And you see the person he was talking to. I'm going to pop the image, and I'll put it on the stream in a second. If I find it somewhere, don't tell me I don't have it. I know I made it too. Anyways, I'll get it in a second. I probably just didn't download, but you see a very young man, maybe early 20s, He's got like a flannel shirt on. It's rolled up. He's got a bunch of tattoos. On his hand, you see this tattoo of this big, beautiful flower. And he looks a little bit nervous, and he kind of watches the cowboy go, and then he turns around and he looks at you guys, and he just kind of turns away and goes back inside.
Oh, DeeDee, I know you weren't, looking, but those were some strapping young men. I could introduce you.
Miss Gordon, do you know them? Are you familiar with them?
Oh, it's simple. Small talk. I got it. We could be best friends.
Miss Kimberly, is it too soon?
Oh, of course, you can call me Kimberly. Absolutely.
No, I meant too soon for you.
Oh, it's probably, I don't know. We're not talking about me. We're talking about you. I'm not here for that.
Oh, and you assume I am.
No, I just was wondering, maybe.
Very thoughtful.
There's a lot going on.
There's horses here. There's too much going on, I think.
That's fair. Okay, we can bring it up another time.
So you head inside to find your rooms. You'll find that you're all on the same floor, on the second floor, and you'll see some of the other people from the group also on that same floor. So it looks like everyone's kind of housed in the same area, and you each have your own rooms that you can go and check out if you want. As you step up to your rooms, you will walk in. You will see very nicely appointed rooms. Queen-size beds for all of them, ensuite bathroom, the whole 9 yards, balconies that look out over the pool area. It's all very nice and comfortable. But Kimberly, as you walk into your room,
Mm-hmm.
you open the door, and when you open the door, you get that same kind of weird sound that you got before, where sound sort of fades off and there's just kind of this high-pitched noise, and then you hear these voices, but this time the voices are accompanied by the sight of 3 women in your room. There's no furniture. The walls are completely bare, white. There's just one big window that's letting in sunlight. And there's these 3 women that are dancing, and one looks a little bit younger and one looks a little bit older. And they're just kind of dancing in a circle and singing this song that you heard earlier. And as it's happening, you're seeing strange flashes. You're seeing your children when they were very, very young. You're at the bedside of your husband as he's passing away. You're seeing your students in the class looking at you expectantly, waiting for you to say something. And it's like all these people are there. Your kids are looking up at you. Your husband who is dying is looking up at you. These students are looking up at you, and they're all kind of like looking at you, like waiting you to say something, and looking at each other and kind of pointing at you and not getting anything from you. And these 3 women are dancing, and it's kind of hypnotic, and the sound that's coming. And then you hear a voice next to you that goes, "Miss Gordon, are you okay?" And when you hear the voice, you realize your door is closed and your key's in, and you were just kind of standing there with the key in the lock. Are you okay, Miss Gordon?
Oh, sorry. I just realized I forgot something at home. It's fine. Just
When you sorry.
It's just this sudden realization. That's all.
When you turn to look at the person that is talking to you, you see that it's Dr. Kegel, the person who runs this therapy group. She's looking at you with that, she's got this very motherly, she's a little older than you. She's got this very motherly, warm presence, these eyes that just seem to care. And she's looking at you with some concern, and she says, "Are you sure you're okay, Miss Gordon? Would you like to go in and sit down? Perhaps have a glass of water. I can go with you if you want."
Yeah, that would be great. I just probably just a little dehydrated. And she'll open the door and
It can happen
kind
in this climate for sure. So you open the door, and you kind of almost half expecting to see these women standing in your room dancing, but none of them are. Um, the
and
room is
there's furniture
yeah,
and
the room is
okay.
as I described it earlier with the furniture and sort of everything else. She
Yeah.
she sort of guides you in, and she sits you down. I've put pictures of Dr. Kegel and Grayson, the kid who was talking to the cowboy, in the chat. You sit down, and she goes and gets a glass of water and brings it to you. And she goes, "This climate does it to me every time we're here every year, and it's very hard to get acclimatized. Just the second you start feeling okay, it's time to leave. It's always the same. You'll be okay
Hmm.
in a couple of minutes for sure." And JD's gone. Um,
Rip.
yeah, he's gone. I'm glad you can make it.
Oh, yeah. This is wonderful. This place is beautiful.
Have you? How's it been at school? Have you been experiencing some of the same difficulties you had, or are things going a little bit better since you joined the group?
I'm definitely when I have moments, I'm definitely learning how to uh not allow my emotions to take over. Uh, really trying to stay calm and collected. Breathing exercises like you taught me, and overall, I think it's getting better. I think it's getting better.
Have you been experiencing strange dreams or things of that nature?
Well, all dreams can be strange. Have been dreaming about my husband
Mm-hmm.
quite a lot lately. The kids leaving. Um,
Look, you need to rest. I'll let you
mm,
be. We do have a little reception downstairs at 7 tonight. It would be great to see you, but if you don't feeling up to it, if you're not feeling up to it, it's perfectly fine. Better to stay here, get your rest, and then tomorrow morning early we'll start our sessions. I was thinking perhaps we could have a one-on-one session sometime during this week, free of charge, of course. I'm very interested in what you're going through, as as you can imagine, I went through something similar myself at some point, and so if you'd be interested, perhaps tomorrow or something like that, we could find a little hour to just sit down, have coffee, and chat a little bit. Would that be okay with you?
yeah, I think that would be lovely. I think that would be super great. Um, Sit down in person and talk. Absolutely.
Excellent. Well, I absolutely hope to see you here tonight, but obviously, if you're not up to it, I'm very, very glad that you're here. Um, and you see, we'll work through this. We'll find a way through.
Thank
Please
you.
get your rest. And so she will up and close the door behind her. As you enter your room, Darryl, the second you step into your room, the phone rings.
Like the hotel room phone?
Yeah.
All right. I go over and I pick it up.
Am
Hello?
am I speaking to Mr. Robinson?
Who may I ask is calling?
Please hold for Miss Messina. Hello, Mr. Robinson. My name is Skylar Messina. I'm with the Blackstone Operations Group. How are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. I couldn't help but notice that you were staying at the resort this weekend.
Yes, myself and a small group are here. Yes.
Oh. All security specialists such as yourself?
Being in the almost the exact profession, you could see why I find it strange that you're suddenly calling me directly on my hotel room phone.
Well, I thought that you would find that a little bit less unsettling than me calling you on your cellular phone.
Both are equally unsettling because how did you know my room number?
I asked at the front desk.
They freely gave you that is wild. That is wild. I have to have a talk with Bill.
They did not. They simply rang you up. I had my assistant do it, of course, but
okay.
You don't have to worry, Mr. Robinson. There's nothing untoward happening. I was merely wondering if you would be interested, in a professional capacity, of course, in having perhaps a drink with me a little later this evening. I notice on the schedule here that you have some sort of reception schedule for 7 to 9 o'clock. So perhaps, say, 9:30 at the hotel bar?
Sure, yes. I'll be there. 9:30.
Excellent. I'll recognize you. See you then. And then
I tend to cut a figure.
And the phone hangs.
Mm-hmm. And I immediately, I would like to check my room for cameras and bugs.
Give me a vigilance roll, so your wits and vigilance. JD, I put the image of Grayson in the chat, in our chat, which is the guy you saw talking with the cowboy. Earlier, also, our good friend Insomnia Knight used some of the channel points to give Jaqulin an advantage. So, Jaqulin, my friend Insomnia Knight, gifted you an advantage. I had forgotten it. It just popped up.
I got a 9 and a 6. So, a 9 is the better one.
Both are successes.
Yep.
Anything 6 are always success. You go through your room, absolutely nothing. You find not a speck of dirt in the wrong place. Nothing at all. Now, there is a big window. There could be someone out there somewhere with a laser microphone, perhaps, something like that. But just like this, you don't see anything or find anything untoward.
I draw the blinds because just like me in real life, I don't want people being able to directly see into my window. Around what time is it now? Because I know the meet and greet is at 7.
Yeah, so it's like maybe like 5:30 right now. So there's a restaurant downstairs if you want to eat, or you could order some room service if you wanted. There's going to be some light finger food served at the cocktail, but not like a full-on meal. But what would you like to do?
Darius, after checking his room out, he's gonna go to the gym. I'm not even gonna lie. He's gonna go to the gym and he's gonna go to the gym, set his room service to come at about 6:20. Go work out, come back, shower, get dressed, eat, and then go to the service.
Okay.
And this is also just an excuse for him to further look around the place as well.
Excellent. DeeDee, you walk into your room and you find the window. The room is very nice. Everything's great, but the window is wide open and the curtains are blowing in. The sliding door, is wide open and the curtains are blowing in. Mosquitoes. Are there mosquitoes in Arizona? I don't know.
It's a little dry, I'd imagine.
Actually, there aren't mosquitoes in Arizona, so but it's creepier if there are.
Cursing under my breath, closing windows. It would be just my luck that service didn't close that in. Yeah.
Well, as you approach the window, you hear voices outside. People perhaps under your balcony speaking. Is DeeDee the kind of person who would eavesdrop on what is assuredly a private conversation?
Absolutely, yes.
You see the two people whose portraits I put in the chat earlier, Carl Olivier and Nadia. having a bit of a heated discussion. She's saying, the problem's not me, the problem's the others, all right? They're not going to buy this. They're not going to want this deal. It's rotten on every possible level that you can imagine. That you're even offering it to us is an insult. And the only reason that I'm even talking to you about it is because, well, you know why. And I'm not going to be able to bring this to them at all. At all. Like, you're fucking crazy if you think that this is going to work. And the guy is smoking a cigarette and he's got a heavy French accent when he speaks. And I know I have a French accent, but I'm not going to do the full on French accent. Well, I guess I could, but he's like, but Nadia, listen, it's very much the best that I can offer. It's not as if uh, it's the industry is not what it used to be. We have a lot more things to consider now, a lot more costs and the cybersecurity and all that. And to be honest, what your workers are asking for is just beyond what we're able to provide at this point. This offer that I'm making you now, just as friend to friend, is really the best you're going to be able to get. You can take this to them if you want. You can make a big ruckus about it, but it's not going to get any better. And she's like, well, look, if that's the best you got to offer, I guess you're just going to have to eat shit. That's all that's going to happen. And she turns around and she storms off. And he takes a drag of his cigarette and looks at it and goes, tabarnak. He flicks his cigarette and shakes his head and then walks off.
That was delightful. Close windows. I think at some point between getting ready to go to the room, checking in, the general newsreel search had started turning into figuring out what groups were here. So having seen the agenda or heard the agenda from Bill, be like, oh yeah, who are these digital sex workers? Who are these ranchers? Who represents these ranchers? And just trying to dive into whoever could possibly be here. And hearing something about cybersecurity is going to add that to kind of my keyword search of things that might be going on.
So just very briefly, just to kind of give you a little heads up about it, so what you do find out is the Digital Adult Workers Union, the woman you just saw talking downstairs, Nadja Mitchell, is the head of the union and a performer. The other man is Carl-Olivier Levesque, who's the head of one of the biggest Montreal studios, digital adult entertainment studios. The Accounting and Clerical Fraternity of Maine, you have no clue. You find absolutely nothing about them. There's a website with the logo, and it says you can count on us. And that's literally all that there is on that page. The Ranchers Collective of New Hampshire is a small group of ranchers in New Hampshire. As you can imagine, ranching in New Hampshire is not like, a growth industry, but we're mostly talking about equestrian farms and dressage and things of that nature. There's been new laws that have been passed that are making it very difficult. You do find an image of the young man you saw outside, whose name is Grayson Somerset from Somerset Equestrian Ranch in Wolfboro, New Hampshire. So your question, JD, did I make this character just for you? Yes. And one of the things that you do read about that is that his family recently died, all of them, and he's inherited the entire affair, the entire ranch and all that. Blackstone Operations, not only do you not find anything about it, but you get a ping. The second you start looking into it, you get a ping that someone has been trying to access your email and someone has been trying to, we've got a new login on your Gmail account from, Karachi. Sure. Is that you, kind of situation. And so you're like, okay, maybe I'm not going to push this one. And that's it. That's what you find.
I would like, if possible, I imagine there's some forums. I don't want to go directly on Twitter or the equivalent thereof.
It's called
I just want to why. I don't want to go to why. I want to go someplace though that I can drop at least that kernel of knowledge that there are contracts up for negotiation that may not be meeting expectations, and just drop that someplace that I think someone else might carry away with it.
No problem. You drop it there, and 30 seconds later, you get a text from Molly saying, "Was this you?" No, okay.
Because I'm bored and I have
Reddit
time to
threads.
kill before our cocktail hours, so I might as well.
So let's do that. And what do? You have a couple of hours. Darius is going to go to the gym and then come back and get his food. What are the rest of you going to do for the couple of hours you have between now and the cocktail?
Go to the barn, of course.
Not a problem. What about DeeDee? Are you to do something beyond, causing shit, stirring shit up, and
I think that's like maybe the first half of it, and then feeling like I am fine. I don't need to dress up any more than I already am. I don't need to impress anybody necessarily. Going to the main floor, seeing whoever is checking in, and if anyone kind of strikes interest, keeping a tab of people we'll talk to in the future.
as you get up from the desk from where you were typing your stuff, you get up and the door, which is open, the curtain flies in and hits with one of the lamps on the side, and the lamp crashes to the floor. The head, the cover on the top just breaks completely in half, and the light bulb shatters and just scatters across the carpet.
Well, I'm gonna have to call housekeeping about this already. And passing by the phone, pick it up, explain the situation.
It's Bill. What can I do for you?
Oh, hey, Bill. Having a bit of an issue here. Window having a hard time staying shut.
Oh, hold on. There's a fire. It's
fire?
under control. It's okay. It's good. It's under control.
Do you need to take care of that, Bill?
No, it's good. You have a problem in your room?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
But next time I send someone right away.
Thank you, Bill.
No problem. He hangs up. And what is Kimberly doing?
I think as soon as the doctor left, she opened her laptop. I think this isn't really a vacation for her as much as it should be. And so she immediately, there was the glitch. And so she wants to make sure that she saved everything and is filling out like paperwork for stuff and probably loses track of time.
And the phone rings at like a few. I'll do something with that. No problem. You lose track of time. Is there anything else you want to do, or that's sort of what's going to happen with you?
She forgets about food. She's just like right into her work, and loses track of time. Doesn't eat or anything.
Okay, so I'll get back to you in a moment. Darryl, you go out, find the gym, beautiful gym, well equipped, kind of dead at this particular time of day. You get in your workout, no problem. They got like a smoothie bar there and like anything you could sort of want. Like I said, not a lot of other people around. Beautiful pool. You can take a swim if you want.
Do I notice anyone? Let me just so I can say the name correctly. Do I notice anyone from Blackstone just milling about that look like they're a part of that security group?
Give me a wits and vigilance.
That's my role of the night because I'm always looking out.
We should just start every scene with Darius with you rolling that.
No, I'm not going to use it. You said we all start with bet. I'm not going to use it. I got a 4 on both, so I don't.
Okay.
I don't notice.
No, there's nothing untowards. You don't spot them. They're probably like at the convention hall or whatever it is that's going on with them.
Just making sure. This was like a general make sure I am not actively being followed. But since they're also here for their own convention, it could genuinely just be that they're there. But it was the phone call as soon as I step into my room. It gave a lot of pause.
I would imagine so. But you don't notice them. But the one thing you do notice as you're walking back up along the path heading back to your house is up on the ridge a little further behind. So behind where the houses are for the guests, there is a little bit further out near the mountains. There's a little bit of a kind of a lodge there with like some water beds around it and whatnot. It looks kind of like a new agey retreat spa kind of thing. And beyond that, you see an outcropping, and on it, 2 lounging and 1 standing up looking around, you see 3 wolves. Quite far,
They
like
see
pretty
me.
much like kind of at the limit of what you could see.
Okay.
2 of them are kind of just, sort of lounging, like this. One of them is up and just sort of looking around. And when you kind of catch sight, he looks at you and he kind of just holds your gaze.
You said it's at the limit of what I could see.
Yeah, it's like just.
I think this would be one of those moments where I activate True Sight, so I can see them clearly, and I don't even realize I'm doing it. I just think my vision is very sharp.
Yeah,
That's part of the reason why I'm very good marksman.
And in fact, as you see much closer to them, one, you can see that there's a number of them behind. There's maybe another dozen or so wolves, and they're kind of all hidden in this little kind of wooded area, behind one of the hills. And even like as you kind of look at them, the one that's kind of the alpha male of the pack is looking straight at you, right in your eyes. And then after a moment, and then turns away.
I look for a few more minutes, but once I'm sure like it's no longer staring me down, a part of Darius's mind goes, "Yeah, I won that round."
And as you think that, you turn to leave and you see a big 4x4 that's parked behind some of the sheds there, some of the maintenance sheds. It's got out-of-state plates. From your experience, they're government plates, the kind of plates that, someone who does shifty work for the government would have. And the only thing that's on it is a sticker you see like a wolf and a crescent moon behind it, and that's all there is like on the bumper. You get a bad feeling when you see that truck.
This is one of those moments where I have to think to myself, is Darius the type of person to go and try to warn a group of wolves that he's got a bad feeling?
I would say that you kind of get the feeling they know, and that's why they're watching.
Okay.
Like, as you put the 2 and 2 together, you kind of get the feeling that's what they're doing. You could go and check out the truck if you want, totally up to you, but like I think you don't necessarily feel you need to go and warn the wolves if you
I don't try to get into the truck, but I do kind of give it a once over, a walk around.
As you approach it, the smell of blood is extremely potent. You approach it and you see in the bed of the truck, you can see different things. There's duffel bags and a crate of tools and things like that. And as you approach it, you can see rolled up a number of wolf pelts. Rolled up, bound tight, stashed in plastic bags.
I'm going to say here that Darius also shares my disdain for trophy hunting, and that's what he sees right here. He just kind of spits on the ground and just keeps walking.
No problem. JD, remind me what you were doing.
Going to the barn, of course, and maybe trying to find Grayson if our paths happen to cross.
Okay. You go downstairs, head out to the equestrian area, and we're going to take a break here in just a moment. You go down to the area. Right now, a lot of horses are gone. There's a group that's out riding. You can see that they have maybe like a dozen horses regularly here. Most of them are out. Like I was saying, there's only a couple that are still in their enclosure. You see that there's also a couple of trailers from a number of the different ranchers, but there's a number of them from Somerset Equestrian Farms. You see the cowboy that you saw earlier is there, and he's basically like sort of pulling the horses out and scrubbing them down, and and all that, and sort of putting them. There's like some pens that have been built for them over on the side. You notice that there are two men in overalls with rifles that are posted on the far side of the equestrian ranch, towards where the mountain is. They're kind of not super obvious, but they're there. You look around, and as you look out into the distance, you don't spot Grayson anywhere, but as you look out into the distance beyond the area that's enclosed for where the horses are, almost out near where the woods are, you see, and I'm putting the picture in our chat, you see this horse, kind of a mottled gray, standing out there, moving sort of very slowly, his tail going back and forth. No harness, no bridle, no bite, nothing. Just kind of moving around. What do you do?
And so this is actually the first time Damien has been back at a barn since the events that led him to join the grief support group. And so while he starts off his walk very excited, there's definitely a slowing of his steps as he approaches and smells the scent of horses and hay and oiled leather and all of those. And he freezes. And that's when I think he catches sight of that horse in the distance. And he kind of loses track of everything that's going on around him. And he starts to walk towards them.
The horse stands there for a good long while, just kind of watching you come towards him, just staring at you. And then just as you get to the edge where you're about to jump over the fence, he turns around and runs off into the woods.
And Damien pauses, probably climbed halfway up the fence, and then climbs down, and then also remembers himself, like, this is not his barn, these are not his horses, he should not be approaching them, and he's well enough versed in this to realize that. And so he kind of glances around, hoping that nobody noticed what he was about to do.
You do notice the cowboy is back there. He's certainly kind of seen you. He's kind of half paying attention to you, but doing his job anyways.
And Damien then just kind of like nods to him and heads back into the barn, more to just see who all is in the stalls and pens and not approach any of the horses, because again, they are not his to approach, but just feel what it's like to be back in this space and what that means for the reason he's here.
And as you step inside the stables, the place, it's about 5:30, maybe going on 6 o'clock now. The inside of the stables, the lights are on. There's like a row of 6 light bulbs that are hanging down, like these big sort of, not light bulbs, but these big sort of rows of fluorescent lights that are up really high. And as you walk into the stables, they start flickering. They start flickering, and as you step closer, the first one dies, goes black, and the second one starts to flicker. The horses are getting a little bit agitated. What would you like to do?
Damien pauses for a moment because this is yet another strange occurrence, but electricity is also faulty, so that's fine. I think he more focuses on, trying to offer some words of comfort to the anxious horses around him, just being like, hey, it's okay. I know that was startling. just electricity being weird. Don't worry about it. As though he expects the horses to understand that.
And when you try to do that, the lights stop flickering, and you manage to kind of calm down the horses a little bit. So you'll go to them, you'll talk to them, you'll calm them down, and they eventually kind of settle down a little bit. As you're leaving the barn, you notice the cowboy's not there. The 2 horses he was working on have been put inside a corral, and he's packed up and gone. And when you look back out towards where you saw the horse, you see the horse, but the horse is looking off to his right. And when you follow the line of sight of the horse, you see just there on the edge of the forest this big gray-white wolf who's just sitting on its haunches, staring at the horse, and they're staring at each other.
Damien takes off running, going to jump over the fence. And I don't think having any idea what to do, because contrary to what Kimberly said, he does not believe he is an animal whisperer, but he sees a horse in danger and he's not just going to stand back.
And you start running and you start climbing the fence. And as you do that, meanwhile, at the cocktail bar, what's DeeDee's drink of choice?
Oh, that's such a good question. One that I probably should have thought of beforehand.
Pimp's cup.
No.
She's got to be like a Scotch straight kind of person.
I think, I don't think she has a favorite. I think it depends on the mood. Probably a big fan of like whatever the special is, because every bar has its own, like, here's our cute cocktail. She's really into those. If it has an umbrella, even better.
All right, so you show up at the bar. There's no one there. You look around. There's like people sitting
Shame.
around having cocktails. There's no, the bartender's not there. There's a little bell there, ring for service. Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, 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 ding.
You hit it, and the thing kind of goes bing, and like this huge sound resonates throughout, and everyone like kind of jumps up and looks around at you. And then, I'm coming. And then you see Bill come around. He's putting on an apron. Well, sorry, I was held up at front desk. You're one of the bereaved. I'm very sorry. Heartfelt sympathies. Drink on the house. Whatever you want.
Whatever I want.
Yes, I make a mean crantini.
Perfect. Sounds wonderful.
Excellent. I'll make you the best crantini you've ever had. And goes over. He's like, a lot of people, they mix drinks, they're just like little this, little that, toot, 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 But me, I'm like, is worth doing well. Is an art form. You have to study it. Is, the old people, they called it alchemy. You take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, in measured quantities. You put it together under a very contained situation, and something new and magical comes out of it. And as he's talking, he's mixing this fucking thing from Mel. He's got, I don't know what goes in a crantini, but he's got fresh of it, and he's
Cran and teeny.
There you
goes
go.
into a glass.
And like as he's talking, he's telling this, and I think that it's worth putting a little bit of yourself in it, because when you love something and you do it with love, it shows, and people like it, and then they're happy. And I like it when people are happy. It's very good. It's good when people are happy. And as he finishes, he pours it, puts it in front of you, a little twist on the side. It's got a little puts a little rag, and he just like that little drop that, and on the side he's like, you taste that and tell me it's not like, God came and died in your mouth. It's beautiful. It's good.
Like, I opened my mouth to speak a few different times as a lot of thoughts hit all at once. And I settled for not speaking and taking a drink. Oh my God. Is this your passion?
It's good.
Is wonderful, Bill.
It's one of my passions. I have many passions. I'm a man. I think, what is it they say? The man contains multitude. I feel I contain multitude passions. The more things you are interested in, the more things you love, the more rich and fulfilling your life is,
I couldn't agree more.
You seem like a woman of passion, and I think you understand what I'm talking about. There's something
Little hair
about you.
toss.
There's
A
like
little
electricity
bob.
about you that like when you move around, things happen. Like it reaches out and things blow up and whatnot. By the way, did they clean up the lamp okay in your room? Is good?
I haven't been back yet, but I am sure it's fine.
Oh, I'll double check. Make sure it's good.
No, I don't worry about it. You're quite busy, it seems like.
I got a few things to do. Oh, your friend there, Mr. Robinson. He ordered. I gotta go make his dinner. I'll be right back. And he goes to leave, and then he kind of looks over, and he comes back, and he leans forward, and he says, "Look out, incoming." And then he.
I'm not subtle. I turn to look.
You turn to look, and you see the man with the French accent that you saw earlier, kind of approaching you. He's tall, lean. He's got a little turtleneck rolled up. He's got a cigarette still in his hand. He's got a whiskey glass. He's got a little bit of a beard, and his hair is just perfectly uncoiffed. Then he comes over and he's like, "I'm sorry. I don't mean to intrude. Are you DeeDee Clairville?"
My reputation precedes me.
I thought it was you. May I sit?
By all means. Crantini.
No, thanks. I like Scotch. I hear it's very good though.
Best I've had.
Well, that's. I'm sure you've had the opportunity to try many Crantinis in your time, and so if you say it's very good, I assume it is very good. May I ask you a personal question?
I take a moment and look into said Crantini and consider. By all means.
What are you doing in this fucking dump?
Do I know you?
No, I'm sorry, we haven't met. My name is Carl Olivier Lévesque. He extends his hand.
Shake it. Bigger question is, why are you here?
Oh, well, that's simple. I'm a porn producer.
Take my hand back.
Oh, no, please, it's not like that. It's not like that at all. I run a massive server farm. Is basically what I run, and people, several people in the adult entertainment business rent space on these servers. That is basically what it is. I was just going for the shock value, you see a beautiful woman in a bar, you have to, make an impression, and not
And
just
that's
any
what I
woman.
decided to go with.
Well, it's because, to be honest, I'm not here because you are beautiful and I want to chat you up, even though I'm French. I'm here because I actually would like to talk to you on a professional level.
Very well. I do charge.
Fair enough. 30 minutes?
I pull out my Venmo. Or Zenmo, whatever we want to say, and pretty much say, like, this is the number, this is how much 30 minutes of my time is worth.
Oh, that's okay. It's exactly like my client base. It's totally fine.
I don't bat an eye at that.
He transfers you the money with a healthy tip.
Nice. Business.
I heard about the unfortunate incident with the dog.
Yes, unfortunate incident.
A Shih Tzu? What was
Bichon, doesn't matter.
I assume there was some blowback.
You assume correctly.
Are you perchance looking for work right now? And I mean literally this minute.
I mean, I'm currently on the clock, so beggars can't quite be choosers. However, I am choosy.
I assume you are. I just also I assume you're here maybe on vacation, and so I don't want to ruin your holiday. But I could use your help, and I would be willing to pay, say, triple your rate.
I'm listening.
One of the reason we are here this week is because of contract negotiations between some of the adult performers unions and some of the people on the production side. And it's not going well at all. And one of the mistakes I made, which I think you will agree is a mistake people like me make all the time, and by me I mean a man. I thought I could do it myself, and I realized I should have hired professional help. And so I think it is a very, how do you say, um, say serendipitous that you are here just when I need a little bit. And as he says that, his glass shatters, and ice and whiskey and glass just sort of goes everywhere. He's like, tabarnak, qu'est-ce que c'est ça, c'ti? Calvaire. And he's got like whiskey sort of all over him, and it's kind of all like, fuck. Je m'excuse. I'm so sorry. I got some on you there. Uh, where is that strange man? Hold on. There's and he reaches behind and he pulls out like the club soda thing and he pours some in a glass, and he's like, je suis vraiment désolé, madame. Je m'excuse. Look, I'm very sorry. I'm going to have to go change. I'm all soaked. Are you okay? Were you hurt?
This has been happening a lot lately. I'm fine. Is your hand? Were you just squeezing a little too tight? Are you nervous?
Well, perhaps I know what you mean, but it's just I'm a little bit under stress. Well, we
Really?
have deadlines and we have things we have to do, and the person that is negotiating for the other side, Miss Michelle, she doesn't like me very much, and I think we've reached kind of an impasse, and so I'm going to go and change. Are you free later, perhaps, and we can talk, put a plan in motion? I would need your help perhaps tomorrow, the day after, to sell our plan to them, because honestly, it is a pretty good plan. And I just need someone to articulate it better than I can. Look, I'll tell you this. If you don't think it's a good plan and it's worth selling, I will still give you half the fee and you don't have to do the work.
You know what? I am on vacation. So how about we can work with this? This is all news to me, by the way. All this information, brand new news.
A professional like you must be able to. I am sure you'll be up on all of this 5 seconds after you're back into your room.
If you don't mind giving me whatever information you do have, contracts, things you've already discussed, I can look over it. But sure, we can meet up later this evening.
All right. How about you don't give me a room number. I will send to the front desk. I will send to the front desk all the information. And
you can trust Bill. He's a good sort.
He's a little weird, you don't think? He's got this thing like this. What is that thing? A Komodo, something like that's running on his. I look at him and I think like the rat in Ratatouille is controlling him. So maybe the lizard is controlling Bill. Who knows?
Sir, you just broke a glass with your own hand, and
I don't know what happened with that.
Entertainment industry. I'm not sure if you really have a.
You don't have any sort of
as far as weirdness going on.
Are you comfortable with this? No one will need to know that you were involved if the whole,
A job's a job. I'm not worried about it.
Well, okay. Look, I take your word for it. I'll send the stuff to the front desk for you to look over, and I'll leave my number in it. And if you want to do the job, you just give me a buzz or send me a text, and we will sit down and work something out.
Delightful.
Enjoy your crantini. I am very sorry. I hope you are not wet, or hurt or anything like that. Yeah, I'm going to go change for the dinner and all that, but I'll talk to you later. It was a pleasure meeting you. Are you okay to shake my hand? I'm not going to break it or anything.
I'd certainly hope not.
And this hand has not touched any porn, I swear.
course it hasn't. Somehow managed to keep a straight face through that, unlike myself. Shake hand, and like other hands already going towards phone to start doing other research.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening. I talk to you later.
Please, no more goodbyes. Just go.
Yes. Yes. I am French. I can't help it. And then he turns around and he leaves. As he leaves, you realize it's just about 7 o'clock. And you see that people are coming in and heading towards the cocktail. And you notice that Kimberly's not among them.
I'll go find Miss Gordon.
You go up to Miss Gordon's room?
Or at least I presume we know they're at least on the same floor. Maybe we saw each other.
Yeah,
go
you were
into
all
each
like,
other's-
your rooms are like next to each other, basically.
Yeah, we'll give a little knock, knock, knock.
You knock on the door. Miss Gordon, you're standing in the desert. You're standing in the desert, and the wind is really dry, really hot. It's really uncomfortable to be out here. There's dust everywhere, obviously. I'm not going to say you're having difficulty breathing or anything like that, but you kind of feel like it's super dry, like you really need some water.
Mm.
You look down below you, and when you do, you see a field full of black crosses. And standing among them is a figure, and I just put an image on our chat, with her back to you, and all these black crosses, which look like they're marking where people have been buried, are. And the figure slowly turns her head over her shoulder to look at you. And you hear a knocking, and you're kind of pulled from this kind of, you realize you passed out sleeping on the desk as you were working, your computer's still up. There's someone knocking at the door.
Oh, huh. Hello.
Miss Gordon.
Oh, DeeDee. Oh, hang on. And wipe the drool from her face, kind of tidy up a little bit, pull, fingers through the hair and shape up the table and walks to open the door.
Well, not that I judge you for skipping by any means, but this was kind of your shindig. That was odd that you weren't downstairs having a drink.
Oh my gosh, is it 7 o'clock?
I believe so.
Oh, I lost track of time. I have, teacher evaluations are at peak right now. So I've been trying to get that done before the festivities, but oh man, give me like just 2 minutes to freshen up and I will meet you down there.
Just want to make sure you were fine.
Thank you. I appreciate it so much. You are truly the best. I'm so lucky.
Pull up my phone. Text Molly. Are you going to be here soon?
You get a text back from her. There you are. Where have you been? I've been texting you all day. Shit's falling apart here. I'm at the airport. I'm trying to get an Uber. There's not a single Uber here. There's nothing. I see a Hertz there. Look, I'm just going to rent a car and come out to you. I should be there soon.
Put my phone down. I'll save you a spot.
Thank you.
And turn and walk away.
And what about you, Miss Kimberly? What do you do then?
She'll probably close the door gently. And there's a solid moment as she's holding the door handle where she's remembering what the doctor had asked her earlier about the dreams. And she's not used to them being this vivid and almost like happening while she's awake, as if she's like experiencing them. And she kind of contemplates that for a little bit, packages it into a little box and puts it in the back of her mind as something to bring up on that one-on-one conversation with the doctor that she plans to have. But I don't think she intends to bring it up unless something like drastic happens. But for now, I think she's starting to realize that maybe there was something to that, and goes and just like, fixes her makeup up and washes her hands, and then we'll head down to
Head downstairs.
to the event.
As DeeDee, as you're walking away from the door and heading downstairs, Darius comes out of his room, all fresh-faced and washed out.
Yeah, he's
well
he's
fed.
fully he's actually dressed to like meet people. It seemed like the thing of like, I was dressed to be on a plane earlier, now I'm dressed to actually be amongst professionals, kind of, sort of. He still has at least 3 or 4 buttons on his dress up shirt, like undone, because he's still kind of in vacation mode, but he's got on a deep burgundy button up shirt, black slacks, and black dress shoes on. And he just kind of, it looks like he's touched up his beard a little bit. It didn't need to be, like, he definitely went to the barber before he left, but he just touched it up just a little bit because he's used to having to make he's the face of the company, basically. So he's the one that people come to see. He's on the brochure, basically. So he's just like, if people are going to see me, and also I have a meeting after this, I'm going to dress up for it.
Meanwhile, I'm still wearing the exact same stuff, but now with wet stains from the broken glass. I don't seem too bothered.
Miss Bernadette, are you okay? You have a few marks on you.
Just a little wetness. It's fine. Look at you all gussied up, though.
I try to do my best when there's people around to impress.
Who are you trying to impress there, darling?
Well, there's people in the hallway right now.
What a smoothie. Looking for a +1?
Why not? Are we all heading down together, or I noticed that you know Miss Kimberly. Are you waiting on her, or are you going to meet her downstairs?
No, not. Miss Gordon is a lovely woman. More my mother's friend than mine, though.
Gotcha. Before we head down, have you seen Damien at all?
Damien.
He was the guy that was with me in the lobby.
Oh, the baby. Oh, well, no, I haven't.
Okay, he's probably already down there. But yeah, I'll take a +1 if you offer. He offers his arm.
She doesn't take it.
That's fine. He completely it didn't happen. He goes right into a normal thing. It does not faze him at all.
DeeDee's like, I charge.
I'm busy. I think it's more that like I miss it as I am putting my phone on silent. Texting Molly. See you when you get here. Thumbs up.
As you're texting her, you get a text from her saying, "Don't they have Google GPS in this freaking state?"
You'll figure it out. Good luck. But actually silencing phone and putting on pocket to sharing company.
You go down. Eventually, you will be joined. I haven't forgotten you, JD. You go down. Eventually, you will be joined by Kimberly. You all are in one of the reception areas. It's a beautiful kind of lodge thing where it opens up. It looks kind of like you would imagine, if they had a scene somewhere in a movie about, ancient Egypt or something like that, with like this long pool that just sort of extends out on the outside, and everything looks like it's made of stone, and little braziers burning, and it's got like the total kitsch sort of faux Babylonian vibe, faux Babylonian, which was really in vogue in Arizona at the time. You surprisingly don't see Bill, but there's a bunch of people running around. They got drinks, a little, finger food, things like that. You see all the other people from the group. There's maybe about 15 or so people here. You say hi to some people, chit chat a little bit. Some people you recognize from the group. You don't see Damien anywhere. Eventually, Dr. Kegel's assistant, Art, who's this really tall, lanky fellow with he's very young, but he's got this totally white beard and hair, and he's always kind of really kind of nervous about a lot of stuff. And he kind of comes to everyone to make sure everyone's okay, everyone's room's okay, and doing all that. There are other assistants that are going around and sort of checking in with you. Do you want to book someone on one time with Dr. Kegel? What are some of the activities that interest you to go around and do that? Does anyone, by the way, so in this case, I guess either DeeDee or Darius, do either of you want to book one-on-one time with Dr. Kegel, or are you just going to be like, no, it's okay, I'm good, I'll just do like the seminars and stuff like that?
I am here as a favor. I am not doing anything more than I have to.
I am here because my job said I had to. I am not booking one-on-one time.
No problem. So they'll tell you what the activities are and what some of the seminars are, and it's basically like there's one seminar in the morning, one in the afternoon. The rest of the time you're free, and then in the evening there's like a little gathering like this. So it's kind of organized like that for the next 4 days. Eventually, after maybe about a half hour or so, Dr. Kegel will come in the room. As I said before, she's just this very motherly looking person with the silver hair and just this very kind face and this very kind manner. And people will sort of applaud, and she's like, oh, please, please, please. And then she'll come up and sort of stand in front of everyone and take a glass of champagne. They're circulating champagne now. And she'll say, I'm so happy to see all of you here. This is the first time since we've been doing these getaways that everyone has actually signed up and shown up. Usually there's a few people that don't find it meets their needs, and that's perfectly fine. But it's very heartwarming to see so many of you here with us this weekend. We have a tendency to think of death as a cessation. Some think of it as a passage, perhaps, or moving on. And grief is the reason we're here. And grief is the emotion we associate with this. But grief is not really about death, it's about loss. And regardless of what we have lost, be it a parent, a friend, a lover, a career, a purpose, a mentor, the end result is a loss of passion, a passion for life, for joy, a loss or passion for our work, our social lives. Lack of passion, perhaps even for ourselves. Death is the end of many things, but mostly it's the end of passion, because the dead feel nothing. Passion is the realm of the living, or should be. But grief steals away the color of passion, leaving behind but a pale imitation of life. We are listless, unable to move on. To remove grief, we must regain passion, for passion is what gives us life, carries us forward, brings delight. A life without passion is a life without music, without poetry, without color. A life without passion is death. Over the next few days, we will explore with each other and within ourselves. We will open doors and see behind which lies our dormant passion. And that's when you hear a loud gunshot resonate from somewhere outside. JD, you are running towards the fence. You vault it. You see the wolf turns its head and sees you. And as the wolf sees you, like, it goes from 0 to 100 in a second. It's 1 minute, it's just kind of standing there, not doing much. It turns to you, and then bam, it's running, and it's got its nose down, it's running. And the horse looks over at the wolf and then starts getting nervous and then starts running also. And you realize the three of you are kind of running towards each other in some way. And the wolf keeps swinging his head between the horse and you, and the horse keeps doing the same thing. What are you aiming for? Where are you running in this particular thing?
Damien's goal is to get between them. He has no idea what he's going to do at that point. Like, he has not thought that far ahead. He is not a strategist. He is just like, if they are making a beeline for each other, I need to be there in the middle.
You run towards where they're going to meet. You get there kind of just before everybody else. You're a little bit closer. The horse is coming sort of towards you, and as the horse comes near you, he kind of tries to shoulder you out of the way. What do you do?
What are the vibes that I'm getting off the wolf?
He's a wolf. There's something that he wants. And he's coming to get it.
And I think Damien makes the worst possible choice that he could make and goes to tackle the wolf.
You turn around as the horse kind of tries to shoulder you out of the way, and you kind of just dodge underneath him. Turn around, and the wolf is right there, right in your face. And the wolf jumps up, and you jump up at him, and you hear this howl, this blood-curdling, death-defying howl, and you realize it's coming from your throat. And as the wolf is just about to, you and the wolf are just about to come together, you hear a loud crack, a gunshot. The wolf's head basically folds in on itself. Blood splatters you all over, goes into your mouth, goes into your eyes, goes over your face. The wolf just rolls over, flop, 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 flop. And you drop down to the ground where you were, and the horse comes over and is sort of pawing the ground and sort of standing over you. A little bit off to the side where the forest is, you see a strange image because you're in the desert. But what you see, there's snow coming down. There is a figure walking towards you. The figure has a gun that he's reloading. He's got sort of work clothes on, a hood over his head. And there's snow falling all around. There's snow on the ground. You feel the cold washing over you. You start shivering as snow is falling down on top of you. This man, you assume he's a man, he's big, burly, comes over. He's got a black glove over his right hand, no glove over his other hand, and he's got the gun broken and he's pulling the slugs out. He reaches into his pocket, pulls out 2 more, pops them in, closes the gun. The horse moves and is kind of standing between you and him. And this guy is looking at you. You can't tell because it's completely black inside his hood. But you can tell he's looking at you. His hand is closing on the shotgun. What do you do?
Damien is moderately in shock because he has never witnessed this kind of violence up close and personal. He was not there when Bailey died. And so being sprayed with blood as his adrenaline was pumping, as he was trying to stop this horse from being attacked, his mind is still catching up to all of that. And he is feeling this implicit threat from the person who is approaching him. But I think he's just kneeling on the ground near the wolf that was just shot with a hand on them, staring up and ready for whatever happens next.
I've put an image of what you see on the chat. The figure looks at you for a while. The horse still kind of standing between you and him. His voice resonates. It almost seems as if it's not coming straight from him. But it's clearly him who's speaking. And he says, "You have to go."
Why?
Because if you don't, you're going to kill everybody.
What are you talking about? I've never hurt a person a single day in my life.
You have.
I mean, I guess maybe I have. I mean, there are times where I've said unkind things, and I probably cut a few people off as I've been driving, but I've never intentionally hurt someone ever.
I didn't say you'd do it intentionally.
Listen, I don't know what you think you know about me, but that's not who I am.
I don't really know anything about you, but I know wolves. If you're not gone tomorrow morning, I'm going to come find you and I'm going to kill you.
That's a really fucked up thing to say. Where do you get off saying something like that?
Puts his gun on his shoulder. First light. He turns around and he walks. And as he walks, it's almost as if the snow in the winter is retreating with him. And you find yourself lying in the middle of this field, still covered in blood, the horse kind of standing over you. There's no more snow, there's no more cold, there's just this figure that's walking away and he disappears off into the woods. The horse looks down at you. Comes over, hits you with his head.
Damien reaches up to put a hand on the horse's cheek and then climbs back to his feet.
As you climb up to your feet, you notice something strange. This beautiful, beautiful horse with this mottled gray has this strange patch of fur over his shoulder that looks kind of like a flower. Meanwhile, back at the, not OK Corral, but at the cocktail hour, you hear a loud gunshot. People react, people go, "Oh, what the hell?" And people start going towards where the windows are and look in, see what's going on. What do the three of you do?
My first instinct, because DeeDee was closest to me, I instantly cover, like, get in front of DeeDee just naturally. If Kimberly is also there, I kind of bunch them both together and, like, cover them both. Once I realize I'm not hearing shattering glass or anything like that, I realize what I've done. I'm just like, oh, I am so sorry. It's instinct. Let's go check it out and be curious like the other people here, I suppose. Again, sorry for encroaching on your personal space. Again, instinct. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I totally understand. Happens to all of us. If you ever want to talk, you know we're always here. Let's go check out what happened.
DeeDee?
I don't want to say I'm nonplussed. Just a moment of. That's why we keep you around. You're fine. Don't worry about it.
It's the first time you've met me, but okay.
There was a gunshot. We're rattled. Do we have to go investigate the gunshot though? I'm just saying it was a gunshot.
I can go. I'll go investigate. It's kind of what I do, so it's fine.
So brave.
It's quite literally a part of my job. It has been for many years. And also, I don't see Damien, and we drove here together, so concerned.
Something about bereaved together, stronger together. Miss Gordon, if you're going, I'll go.
Just to make sure that nothing horrific is happening,
And if there is, then we get to see it. That's wonderful. Yes, let's carry on.
I can at least say it was not my weapon, because I checked mine at the front desk. Well, that one at least.
So a lot of you move towards the windows where everybody else is. As you're moving there, you hear, "Are they coming here? Are they approach? Should we do something? Should we call someone?" You see some people on their phone, like maybe trying to call security or something. And as you approach the windows, you see a couple of things. You see coming up the road on horseback, a big, beautiful, mottled gray horse is Damien, covered in blood from head to toe, just sitting on this horse, sort of slowly coming up the road. And when you look over to the side, you see approaching you along the pool 12, 24, 36 wolves, all moving slowly towards where the lot of you are. Their eyes are gleaming in the darkness. There's just this phalanx of wolves that is approaching you, moving slowly towards where everybody is. Suddenly, something happens, glass shatters, someone screams, and then full fucking chaos erupts in the place. And that, my friends, is where we will end for tonight.
Shit.
How could you? You monster.
I know.
No.
I know.
We have to know if Bill is also security.
It's just
All
Bill
of
riding
those
in with a
cars were for
shotgun.
him.
Exactly.
Bill with a radio.
Bill with a radio, exactly, the vest, a bandana. He's got the Rambo knife. We're going to war. Is good. My friends, we're going to end there for tonight. Thank you so much. You're all absolutely wonderful. I love all these characters. We've met them. We've interacted with them. We kind of getting an idea who they are now. So now we're going to put them through the ringer. And I mean, JD's already put himself through the ringer because JD's just like, I'm fucking here to, I'm here to fucking play, dude. Let's just rock it down. And that's why I keep inviting JD back. Thank you so much, everybody. Please, let's go around and tell our people here who you are, where they can find you, what you got going on, anything you want to plug. And as we did earlier, we will start with the Mistress of Chaos. Alex.
That must be me.
That must be you.
I wonder who else it could be. Hi, I'm Alex. You can find me on social medias at Roll for Alex. I do various TTRPG things. Most frequently, I am over on YouTube with the Games Tavern. Thursday nights with Whiskey, Magic, and Destruction. I play Cimmerian Roselock, the Fey Wanderer Ranger / Barbarian. I always forget to tag on that's just part Barbarian now too. It's super fun. Last time where we left off, a lot of group infighting, high drama, high tension. We're off this week. We'll be back next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can also find me with the Exquisite Corpse Presents group with Naissance du Rain. However, we just wrapped up season 2. Very fun show. You can find all those VODs over on their YouTube channel as well, but traditionally we air on Sundays over on Twitch. We're taking a little hiatus, but you can find us over there and everything that they do. Great stuff. Great folks. Love them.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Say hi to Darling Creepshow. I just see has been in the chat. Thank you, darling, for dropping by. It was a lot of fun to see you. Next up, we have the inimitable, the irreplaceable, the always ready, down to clown, JD.
Hey, I am JD, and I will always play characters who make the worst possible decisions at any given moment, because that is what I do. You can find me when I'm not playing with Bleak, most often with Live from the Apocalypse, where we raise money for various charities, and I do way too many things. We're heading into our 12 games of Hasmus, which is not really 12 games, and they're not consecutive because things have gotten a little chaotic, but it's going to be a time, and Bleak's actually going to be running one of them, so it is a treat, as always, when we get a bunch of guest GMs in the mix. You can also find me with Exquisite Corpse Presents in Sister Cities, where I play a character who is also considered a baby. However, he is actually a 29-year-old man who has just been weirdly socialized after spending the last 15 years in an institution. It's fine. He's learning how to use magic now, real magic, because we're in a video game and we're getting to experience that. And yeah, I do way too many things. The best way to find out where I am at any given time is socials, JD, not Jason Dean.
Thanks so much, JD. And I think it's so on brand for you to be covered in blood, riding your horse, boyfriend. Like, I mean,
this is everything I've ever wanted, Bleak. Like, thank you for the gift.
No problem. See, that was a $200 well spent that you Venmoed me. Because I charge. Thank you so much. It's always so much fun to have you here. And once again, rising to the occasion. So thank you very much. And I look forward to running that game. I had so much fun when we all met last year on Hasmus, and it'll be fun again this year. So be there for that, people. Next up, we have the man who's just reacting on instinct, protecting those around him on instinct. Let's not get carried away here. Mr. Darryl. What's up, Darryl?
It's all instinct. It's all improv. Hello. I'm Darryl. I played Darius Sahir Robinson. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Mr_Darryl Dorsey. You can also find me on Twitch, usually Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, streaming some type of video game on Darryl Sucks at Gaming. That is Sucks spelled SUX. I'm simply doing my best. I also do a lot of TTRPG stuff, a lot of which is not out yet. It's being edited and being ready to put out into the world. One of which I'm doing it. There'll be a 3-part game with Mayday Roleplay coming through December. If you like mechs and very campy anime type mechs and gigantic what are they called?
Kaiju?
Yep, yeah, kaiju. Yeah, thank you. That
Got your back.
that is coming up, and I have a few other things that I cannot talk about. You can also find most of the things that I'm doing is I am the storyteller /GM/DM for the Fang Gang podcast, a podcast of which I started just for an excuse to play Vampire the Masquerade because no one else was playing it, and I was just like, I might as well run it myself. We're about to wrap up our current chronicle of Vampire the Masquerade, San Diego by Night. After that, we are going to do a short chapter of Outbreak Undead, where I'm going to torture them with real life stuff and make them actually be like, oh no, I have to actually think about stuff. And then after that, we'll be doing Curse of Strahd for who knows how long. But that is me.
That is you. Talking. Awesome. Thank you so much, Darryl, for time to play together, and it's been great. So looking forward to next week. Thank you for agreeing to play. I'm very, very grateful. And finally, channeling all our high school teachers ever, and somehow making it so precious that you're like, nothing must happen to this character, is Jaqulin. Hi, Jaqulin.
Hi, I'm Jaqulin. I use she, her pronouns. And tonight I played Kimberly Gordon, also she, her, who's just your normal high school teacher who says some off-putting things from time to time. That's totally not campy at all. I'm kind of in between projects right now, so if you're looking for a player, feel free to reach out. I'm producing some things, not ready to talk about yet. I have some TTRPG productions underway. You can find all of my stuff on my Linktree /it's Kakelia. And I'm just trying to get through the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to get through December.
Right. That's I think at this point it's the end of the year, so you can like.
Yep. Yeah.
And you're in academia too, and so you know that it's pretty hardcore end of year. So thanks so much, Jaqulin. Great character. Very glad that you joined us on this thing. All of you were.